The dirt regulars struggle, Joey Logano wins the first Cup race on dirt in 51 years, and Daniel Suarez and Trackhouse Racing are starting to make some noise. All that and more coming up next on the recap. So, NASCAR has its first race on dirt in 51 years. The last one, of course, being in 1971 in Raleigh, won by Richard Petty. This time it almost didn't happen because Mother Nature reared her ugly head and there was rain, there was flooding in Bristol. But luckily, it worked out Monday where we had a good day of weather and they got the race in, and Joey Logano ends up leading the final 61 laps. A very strong performance once again from Penske and its driver, and goes home and takes the first dirt race win in 51 years. So congratulations to Penske and those guys. The race itself was pretty good. There was good racing throughout the field. It looked like a pretty good race. I'm going to make another video later on talking about the Bristol race and how good it was or how bad it was, depending on your point of view. And I'm going to make that video because during the race, it was announced that the next year's race will also be on dirt. Of course, the hype leading up to the race was immense. And all week, all we heard about were Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell are the clear favorites to win this because they're magic on dirt and this and that and the other thing. There are plenty of drivers throughout the field that race on dirt, but you didn't get a whole lot of mention of those guys. It was predominantly based on Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, and the dirt regulars did not show up here. They wrecked racing each other in the first or second stage. I can't remember which one off the top of my head. But they took each other out. Kyle Larson wrecked a couple of times during the race. Christopher Bell wrecked out and could not continue. So it was pretty surprising to a lot of people that the favorites that they talked about all week, it was Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell. Those guys were never even really a factor in the race. They had worked their way up in that stage whenever they wrecked, fighting at the end, but it was so early that they were never really a factor in the race. So that was probably pretty shocking for a lot of people. But some other dirt regulars that they didn't mention actually had a good race. Ricky Stenhouse, a dirt guy, finished second, had a great car at the end. A few more laps, he might have gave Joey Logano some problems. Ryan Newman, he's definitely a dirt guy from Indiana. The Rushville Rocket, he finished fifth. And Tyler Reddick, the California kid, finishing in seventh. So some dirt regulars did make some noise. But some other dirt guys, some ringers, like Stuart Friesen, he didn't really show much. His setup was way off. We know Stuart Friesen can get it done on dirt, but his setup was way off. And then Chase Briscoe and Austin Dillon, also dirt guys, they didn't make a whole lot of noise. Chase Briscoe obviously wrecked by Kevin Harvick, his teammate. And Austin Dillon, I guess he was just really tight because he kept burning the front and the right rear tire off. So it was sort of a mixed bag with your dirt veterans, but all the hype the previous week didn't really add up because the two guys they hyped up the most, once again, Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson, did not affect the outcome at all. Another thing I wanted to touch on before I leave is Trackhouse Racing and Daniel Suarez are starting to show some strength. Last week in Atlanta, they had a great run going before the speeding on pit road penalty where he had to do the pass-through, and he still ended up with a pretty decent 16th or 17th there. But they were in the top 10 for most of that race. And this week, Daniel Suarez showed a whole lot of strength in the second stage, almost winning it. He was, of course, passed by Joey Logano, and then finishing fourth in the actual race itself. So Trackhouse with back-to-back, which should have been top 10s if it hadn't have been for the speeding penalty on pit road. Starting to show some strength. They're looking like the second fastest RCR car. Obviously, they have an RCR affiliation other than Austin Dillon, who's 11th in points. Suarez is starting to turn it on here these last two races, and he might be making some noise if they keep this forward momentum going. All right, that's all I got for you this week. Thanks for watching, and subscribe down below if you're not already, and like the Facebook page and give that a follow as well. Thanks for your time. Peace.